Hi, welcome to this eFit home workout. I'm Rebecca, and in today's session, we'll be doing a feel-good mobility practice designed to help you release any tension in the body that might have built up from stress or anxiety. This is often in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, so we'll be focusing on these areas today. If you have a pillow or a block, feel free to bring this into the practice to sit on, as we're going to start in a cross-legged position. As always, we're going to take a few moments just to ground ourselves down into the session. So rest the hands down, lengthen through the spine, soften shoulders, and either closing down the eyes or taking a soft gaze towards the floor. Let's take 3 breaths together here. Breathing in. Open the mouth to exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath in. And out. Now feel free to keep the eyes closed, or you can open them to watch me. We're going to interlace the fingers in front of the body and press the arms away, keeping the palms towards you, chin in towards the chest. So we're getting a bit of opening and space along the back of the upper torso. On your next inhale, flip the palms around to the ceiling, pressing tall, stretching all the way up from the base of the spine through the arms. On your next exhale, release the hands, interlace the fingers behind you. Inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, open through the chest, pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Yeah, let's flow through again. Release the hands, interlace in front of the body, pressing arms away, palms towards you, chin in towards the chest. Inhale, let's flip the palms towards the ceiling, pressing tall. Exhale, release those hands, interlace behind the body. Inhale, open through the chest, softening shoulders down. Good, releasing the hands. Let's take the right ear over to the right shoulder. So you can stay here, just as we are. Or if you want to deepen that stretch a bit further, take the right hand over the side of the head, gently allowing the weight of that hand to deepen the stretch. The other arm can stretch out to the side, fingertips touching the ground if that feels comfortable for you. That just creates a bit more lengthening along the side of the body. 2 more breaths here, breathing in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting the head up through center. Let's go straight over to the other side. So left ear to left shoulder. We can stay there, or the left hand can come up and over the head. And then you have that final option for the right hand to extend out to the side. Now just noticing if there's any difference between the 2 sides here, and how that stretch through the side of the neck feels for you. 2 more breaths here, inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Lovely, releasing the head. We're going to roll over onto the knees now. So pull these feet underneath you, rolling over. If you've got a pillow or a block under the pelvis, you can just move that over to one side. We're going to come into our tabletop position. So knees are about hip width apart here, spreading fingers, stacking shoulders over the wrist. As you inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. We really open through the chest here. Lift the gaze as you do so. So we have an opening. Exhale, thread the arm down and through, resting the shoulder inside of the head. Let's bring a bit of movement in here. Inhale, take the arm up to the ceiling. We open the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, thread down and through, just touching the shoulder and the head. Last time, inhale, we open. Exhale, we thread down and through. And this time we're going to leave the shoulder and the head resting on the floor. I'm going to reach the left arm forwards to the front of the mat. So the fingertips are touching down. So we're getting this twist and rotation through the thoracic spine, as well as this opening and lengthening on the side of the body. Let's take 1 more breath here, breathing in. Exhale. Bring the left hand down onto the ground. We rise back up into that tabletop pose. Let's take a round of cat-cow here. So inhale, opening through the body, arching the spine, lift the gaze. Create a bit of space between the shoulders and the ears here. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, press into the floor, rounding through the upper spine. Inhale, flatten the spine. Start to walk the hands forwards towards the front of the mat. Keep the hips really high. As you exhale, we're going to open the chest and shoulders. Rest the forehead onto the floor here. Now, if this feels very comfortable, you want to go a bit deeper into the stretch of the upper spine. You can bring the chin onto the floor instead. You'll probably notice that's a little bit more intense for the body, but maybe it feels nice for you. So don't be afraid to play around and see how it feels. You can always take it back to that previous option with the forehead resting down. This is a really big opening for the upper body here. One more breath, breathing in. Exhale. Start to walk those hands back towards you, coming through that tabletop. And let's go for our thread the needle on the other side. So inhale, left arm stretches up, we lift the gaze. Exhale, thread the arm down and through. We're going to tap the shoulder and side of the head. Inhale, we rise up. Open chest, lift gaze. Exhale, we thread down and through. And tap last time. Inhale. Exhale, coming down into that pose. You can stay here, or that right hand can start to open and reach to the top of the mat. So maybe the eyes fancy closing down here as you tune into the body and how the stretch feels on this side. Or maybe the balance needs the eyes to be open. If it's a little bit wobbly for you, that's no problem at all. It's all part of exploring these new poses, these different ways of moving through the body. One more breath here, breathing in. Exhale. Bring the right hand back on the floor and then the left hand. We're going to come all the way down onto the front of the body. So however you want to get there, lowering yourselves down. Bring the forearms onto the floor. We're coming into our Sphinx pose. So for this, forearms are resting down. Bring the elbows in quite close towards the torso. Spread fingers wide. And rather than collapsing down to the body, think about this lift and elevation. We're engaging the glutes as this helps to protect the lower back and allowing the tops of the feet to press down into the ground also. I'm going to bring the gaze down slightly. So I'm just looking towards the top of the mat. And once again, feel free to close the eyes down here as we find this gentle back bend for the body. Let's take 3 more breaths, breathing in, maintaining this contraction and this lift through the upper body. Exhale, grounding down through the hands and the tops of the feet. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, breathing in. Breathing out. When you're ready, lower the torso down to the ground. I'm going to take the left arm out to the side. So I'm stretching it all the way out onto the floor. Right hand is pressing into the ground just at the side of the rib cage. Bend the right leg. I'm going to roll over onto this left shoulder. Now don't do this if you've got any issues or injuries to the shoulder. Place the right foot down onto the ground and allow the head to rest onto the floor. So here we're getting this big opening and stretch for the left side of the upper chest. If that feels painful at all or too uncomfortable, at any point you can just roll down back onto the front of the body. If it feels quite nice, you can stay here with me for 3 more breaths. If it feels quite nice, you can stay here with me for 3 more breaths. Breathing in. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. When you're ready, rolling down onto the front of the body. Let's go straight over to the other side. So right arm is going to stretch out onto the floor. Left hand is onto the floor, keeping the elbow in close. We bend the left knee. We roll out onto that right shoulder. The left sole of the foot is pressing into the floor, and the head is going to rest down onto the ground. So check in now with how this right shoulder feels. If it's feeling painful or too uncomfortable, just roll down back onto the front of the body. If you're feeling a stretch sensation, sometimes that can be a bit uncomfortable, but notice the difference between discomfort and pain. And that helps to guide us for whether we stay in the pose or we can go a bit longer and allow these fibers to stretch and lengthen, or whether we've had enough time in the position. 3 more breaths together. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last breath in. Exhale. Releasing down onto the front of the body. Take the elbows wide. Rest the forehead onto the hands or the side of the head. And we'll close our practice here together on the front of the body. A final moment in stillness. Noticing this different alignment for the body as we face forwards, with the front of the body resting down rather than the back that we often do instead. One last breath together, breathing in. Exhale. Now, as always, feel free to stay here a bit longer if you wish. Otherwise, lifting the head, pressing the hands into the ground, sitting back onto the heels, rising up with me. And that's the end of our session today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.